Okay.
All right, we're live. We
Okay.
are live. I think everybody can hear us, but that's okay.
We are live with 0 viewers.
How come I can't see you guys?
Oh no, not yet, not yet. Once,
Okay.
once we go through the intro, then you'll be able to see us. I'm gonna text my wife so she can put us on, so we can have one viewer.
But Mike, it's
Oh,
also
we have 3
easier.
viewers. We have 3 viewers. Okay.
Oh my God!
Let's start, guys. Ready?
What is up, everybody? This is a big moment in Croqueta history. We are officially live.
Live, baby.
We have how many viewers, Mike?
5.
Wow!
And one is Michelle, and one is Mike's wife. And I'll go on there. I think the other one's me too. So, everybody, we have a special guest today. We are recapping The Amazing Race, season 35, episode 2, with Elizabeth and Iliana. Say hi, ladies.
Hi, guys.
Say hi to all of our thousands of millions of viewers out there. Thank you so much for being on. This is my co-host, my wife Michelle, and my producer, some guy called Mike.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, guys.
Ladies, thank you so much for being on. Tell me about yourselves. Let's start with the hard question. All right.
Oh, God.
I know, Elizabeth, you have a dog back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you, when you walk your dog and somebody comes up to it and goes, "Oh, you're so beautiful," are you cool with that, or you find that a little annoying?
This question.
It depends how long it takes. If it's cute from a distance, está bien. But if they want to come and touch and talk to me when I'm not in the mood, it's a problem.
It's a little weird, right? Because
Yeah, it's a little weird.
you know, it's like when somebody, when I see somebody's like has their baby, and then somebody goes up to him and goes, "I just love your baby, I just love," and that's right. The parents like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm kind of sometimes the same way with my dog, but yeah. So we're asking the hard-hitting questions here in Croqueta Chat. Who is this? Kate. Is Kate? No, wait. Who was our first comment? Was that
Our
Michelle?
first comment was Michelle. Yeah, that's my wife.
We have a Ricky in the chat. We have Kate in the chat.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies, were you guys like huge fans of the show? Did you watch every season? When did you start watching? Tell us about your Amazing Race fandom.
So I've been a super fan since season 1, and
Nice.
she's been a fan. So I've watched this all my life, and then I would force them to watch it with me because it's a family show.
Nice.
So then we got hooked on it, and I started doing yearly Amazing Race stuff in my backyard for Halloween. We were like the Halloween house, so we would make kind of Amazing Race challenges and stuff like that, and all the neighborhood would be at my house trying this out.
Yes.
And
that's it. Yeah.
a lot of them didn't know what it was, but I did. So it's pretty cool. And then most recent, when we moved to Florida, we just started really watching it, been watching it for years. And then we got excited, to be honest. I got excited for having more Puerto Ricans on the show. You know what I mean? Like, if you really view all the seasons, there aren't that many Puerto Ricans on it. And when I saw you guys, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And you guys did so well. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, there hasn't been an all Latino team. Elizabeth, do you have headphones? I think that's somebody's audio is pretty loud, right, Mike?
Maybe it's a little bit too loud. The volume coming out of the phone, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you can put the volume down just a little bit, maybe.
Am I?
Yeah. Iliana, do you have headphones? Maybe
No.
we should have done this pre-production, right,
I
guys?
know, right? We needed to do a test.
We're working on this. All right?
Okay.
It's all good. So, yeah, there hasn't been an all-Latino team winner on The Amazing Race.
I know. I was really
Yeah.
rooting for you guys. You guys came
Yeah.
the
We're
closest.
so close. So
We-
I think we were the first Latino team to get to the final.
Yeah, we
right?
were.
wow.
Yes.
Yes,
To the
they made
final.
it so far.
Yes, I love it. And we wanted to really represent Latinos because I feel like we don't really see our representation so much. And on The Amazing Race, too. So
Mhm.
I love
100%.
seeing you guys there, too. And I don't know if you know, but Luis is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're Cuban, right?
I'm Colombian Peruvian.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice mix.
Oh,
Those babies are gonna
wow.
be beautiful.
Yes.
Those are unique.
Bunch of mutts. So, we were the first team to make it onto the final. I was gonna say something else, but I just feel like there's not a lot of Latinos that watch this show because me growing up, my parents didn't watch English TV.
You're so
Like
right.
my parents watched Telemundo, Univision, Sábado Gigante,
Caso
Yep, 100%.
cerrado.
and it's like
Yes.
we're watching. So me growing up, I started watching with Michelle a few like years into our relationship. We're like, what is this show? Oh my god!
The same thing
Amazing
happened
Race.
with
So it was
me.
like, yeah, it was like
Yeah.
season 23 or 24 that we started watching. 24
Mhm.
actually. So it's hard to find Latinos that know this show.
Yeah.
So thank you, Elizabeth, for getting this next generation into the
Well,
Amazing Race.
that was actually a big driving force because I wanted to raise her and my son. I have a 20-year-old son to just go for everything. You like let them, you know what I mean? Just go for it, try it out. You never know if they're gonna say yes or no. And then she actually started executing it, and I started to panic. I'm like, "What? You did what?" She actually was the one
So
who started-
Iliana was the one that auditioned for you guys, that put in the application.
After so much talking about it, she saw something on IG recruiting for Amazing Race, and she actually put our names in and started talking to them. And one day she called me at work and she was like, "Mom, 5:30, be at my house. We have an interview with Amazing Race." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I thought she was, because she's always doing something. So I was
love
like,
that.
"Yeah, okay." I was like, "Whatever." So I
And-
show up at her house and she shows me the Zoom link, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, "Oh my God." But then when you start the process, the whole time you're thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna get picked." Like little me and little Tampa, we're not gonna get picked. And it was literally like that for almost, it was like a 10-month journey.
And Ileana, I've got a
Ileana,
question
what-
for you.
Go ahead.
What made you think I'm going to sign up and I want my mom to do it with me? Was there anybody else who was in the running up?
No, it was never a question. We were always going to do it together. There was literally never a question. I think the only person either of us would have taken is my little brother, and he would have literally just killed us. So
It wouldn't have been good. You and your
No,
brother on the show.
it would not have been pretty.
My son said, when we got back, my son said, "It's your turn to take me now so we could win finally."
So
I
stupid.
love it.
Well, what my mom said all the time, she was like, "You should have taken your brother."
He knows how to play the piano. He
Yeah.
knows how to play the piano.
So that piano
What's-
thing was hard.
That
Yeah.
was
That thing
the
was
worst.
hard.
Yeah, well, my sister also knows how to play the piano. So
Oh
our parents
my
gave the
God.
wrong child piano lesson. So it's their fault we're not
I
millionaires.
agree.
But I know you guys are short on time, so let's run into the episode, right?
Yeah.
Can I say something
Yes,
real
go ahead.
quick? So, with my mom, I think it's so crazy, the mom and daughter thing. Latina moms are a lot. They're always into everything. I'm
Yeah.
so
Diana,
much
don't
like
nod
my
your head.
mom. I'm so much like my mom, and I feel like I saw that you guys bumped. Well, you said that you bumped heads a lot, but it didn't really seem that way during the show. Do you guys feel like they didn't show some parts of you guys like arguing, or were you guys really getting along? Because I feel like if I would have got on the show with my mom, we would have been last from the very beginning.
Yeah, no, when we get into the stories, like more specifically, and when we talk about Thailand and stuff, we'll tell you some of the funny stories. But our bumping heads is not like, mean or anything. Like all our bickering is always just like fun. It's never like super serious. Like, and we annoy each other, and I'm sure it's the same with your family, because I feel like most Hispanic families, like you could be screaming at each other 1 minute and the next minute you're fine. So I feel like that's pretty much just how it was in the show too.
And honestly, with that question, Michelle, I think when I went in, I really had to put my mommy mode aside. I consciously decided I'm not going to be mama bear and tell her, no, act like mom would at home. I wanted to be her partner more than anything. I wanted her to make decisions, me make decisions, and then kind of work on it together. And for the most part, it worked that way until the market.
Until the market. We'll get into that. So teams dive deep into Thailand, where they look for peace and tranquility in nature and water. Who can keep cool and who will heat up into a freak out? One team forgets their fanny pack and must go back and retrieve it. So we start and we go to Wat Chalom Frakyat Warayumawam. And
Exactly.
so this
One more time.
no, that's it. Like I'm insulting people by trying too hard. All right. So we have here Jocelyn and Victor leaves at 8:26 a.m. Elizabeth and Iliana at 11:09 a.m.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
So what we have here, you know, in our season, Mike, we had the group starts. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
believe
what
it
we
or
were
not,
talking about the first episode.
Yeah,
of our podcast.
if it wasn't for that, you know, Elizabeth and Diana would be leaving with 3 other teams,
30
3
minutes
other
later.
teams, you know, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes behind. But right now they're
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours behind. So
Yeah.
and you know what's crazy about the group starts is it actually screwed us day one instead of
How?
helping us, because I saw the timesheet. I cheated and I saw one of the producers' timesheets. Teams number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 were 5 minutes apart from all of them. All of them.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
6,
you guys
7,
went
8,
like
9.
staggered groups.
But team 6 and 7 got to leave 15 minutes before us, even though we finished like 5-6 minutes max behind them, right? So, but here it would have fit to your benefit because your first day, it wasn't the best day. You guys had to wait the massage. That didn't help. It's right back to Amazing Race, classic Amazing Race, right? Where it's so hard. Every minute counts, and you hope for an equalizer, which you guys didn't get, right? Which sucks because next episode, it looks like there's an equalizer and a flight delay, which looks crazy. Okay, so you know, what's your mindset right now? You guys obviously talk to their. Do you guys talk to their team, see what times they're leaving and stuff, or like do you guys know how far back you are?
We had an idea how far back we are. In the thing with starting when like the times how we're doing it, like how the past ones are. The thing with that is like unless something crazy happens, you're kind of staying in the same placement. Like if you look from the first, I think I saw from the first to the second episode, I think Joe and Ian and Joe and Garrett switched. Otherwise, everyone was in the same place.
Well,
Like,
fun fact, I think this is the first episode in a lot of Amazing Race episodes. I think Logan was the one who sent this to me. 10 of all the 12 teams stayed in the same place. And if you go back to all the other Amazing Races, it blew it out of the water. I think the max before was like two or three teams stayed in the same place. So this episode is incredibly unique.
And I think all of us like being so competitive and like doing pretty well that like we were all on the same plane for everything. Like we all stayed in the same placement, which wasn't good for us because we started late, but like it was more or less taking people like a similar amounts of times to do things, but it sucked to start 2.5 hours after first.
Yeah. So I have a quick question. In the airport, do they hold you before getting out of there and let you go in different times, or do they I guess, do you all leave at the same time?
So the way that we did it is when we landed in Thailand, we were still racing.
Okay.
Like, so there were no times. So we all got to the end. We had to wait for like production and wait for all the teams. Because I don't know if they had the rule when you guys were there, but you don't race through the airport anymore.
Okay, yeah. That was my
question. Yeah.
So we got through everything and then they held us right there and they were basically like ready, set, go. So we left the same time. Because like from LA to Thailand, we were still racing, still filming. So like there were no times. They just held us and said go once we got off the plane to Thailand.
Got it. Yeah, because in the past you had to be assholes and race through customs and push people on the side. They stopped
Customs is what changed everything. So they wanted to clear everybody first and then go.
And then
which is fair.
Yeah, it's just that people.
Yeah,
they started that. I think that was like season 30 where they just switched that rule up because it was just we looked like a bunch of assholes. Yeah. Look at these Americans pushing people out of the way. They don't care about reality shows.
Exactly.
All right, so you guys rip your clue, and so there's a taxi ride right to the Green Thumb roadblock, right? How was that ride? Anything happened there with you guys?
So that was
we talked about the first leg.
Yeah,
this
is the second episode. Yeah. So to go to the Green Lotus, so we were the last ones there. We go there. We got there fairly quickly, and then it was nice because Liam and Jeremy got there right before us, and they left like 4 people in front of us. So we literally were walking right behind Liam and Jeremy, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and I
left an hour and 7 minutes before you.
Wow, you got a great taxi.
Their taxi went 40 minutes in the wrong direction.
Oh no!
40 minutes back. So I was pumped to say, I was like, "Did y'all just get here?" And they're like, and they're just so smiley. They're like, "Yeah, our taxi went the wrong way."
That sucks so much.
They're so
Okay,
funny.
so
But
here's the thing.
I think that's what happens to Greg and John too. Greg and John
Yeah,
also
the
got
same thing happened to
the
them.
same
They were
thing.
so far
Yeah.
ahead that it didn't
Is that an
matter.
error that they showed them? That is there something with the clue that they showed a taxi driver wrong or
Taxi
something?
just went to the
I
wrong
don't. I
spot.
think there's just so many. Like in Thailand, there's so many Buddhas. There's so many temples. There's so many farms that some of the taxi drivers were just looking at it like, okay, take you here. They went to the wrong place. Like they did get out of the car and they were like, this isn't it. Like looking around, this isn't it. So they literally just went to the wrong place. Both of them, both the
So
brothers.
here's the thing. On our season, I really wanted to sit. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to sit back in a taxi and just write down my notes, relax, have a good time with my husband. But the
No.
actual anxiety of having to sit in that taxi
It's the
and let him
worst.
wait. But it is the worst. But also trying to lead him with the map, writing
It's
down
very
your
stressful.
notes is so stressful. So sometimes I wanted a taxi. But yes, it's so easy for you to not have control and lose the race because of that. So
Yeah, at
I
least we
was
were
the
in
hard-
control. Yeah, at
I
least
would
we.
have preferred the driving part. Like the taxi part is crazy, and like there's the language barrier is terrible, and you can't communicate. And like when we get towards the end of the episode, or the end of the leg story, I'll tell you that story. But like the taxi things, like I don't want to be that amazing race scene that's like, oh my god, it's the taxi. But like it was such an issue for so many people.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the show, honestly.
Yeah,
And that
that's-
was like my biggest fear, that we were gonna get lost. The taxi was gonna take us somewhere else, and then it happened. And it happened.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that we were gonna do if we got into a taxi, and I want to know if you guys did it as well, we were gonna check to see if the taxi had gas, and what else?
yeah, check the tires, check the
check
gas,
the tires,
and check the driver.
Yeah, check the driver.
Oh no, we
I
were.
would say-
Or
We had a
did
whole interview
5-point
process with the driver.
inspection.
you guys
So-
just
We
get
just-
to the car and go?
What references do you have, sir?
We just
So-
checked if the driver was breathing. Let's go. Let's get to the car. That's it. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
False.
great.
Let's go. All
Yeah.
right, so
It was
so
the start was
Elizabeth,
so
yeah.
intense. It was so intense.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, the clue, you were up with the clue. It's a roadblock. Who has a green thumb? Right. I guess Elizabeth, you obviously went. You did it. Tell us about this roadblock. Why were people having so much trouble?
I wish I can really. I try to explain it as good as possible, but it's like quicksand at the bottom of this water, like dirt black water, and you get there and they're like, you have to jump in there, grab the lotuses, do this, do that. And
Did
I'm
the
like,
clue
jump.
say? Did the clue say you have to get 3-4-3 formation? Did the clue say all that? Like the four?
No,
check
they said
points?
go look at the example.
Oh,
So the lady
so you
was
guys.
there. The lady's there making them, and honestly, I'm very good at attention to detail, so I kind of felt really confident. And on the show, you watch a show and everybody kind of always downfall is because they didn't do a certain thing.
Yeah.
So I looked at the color of the tie, how they tied it, how many they tied it, what was the row. I looked at everything. And then when you start doing it and they start rejecting it, it's like, what do you mean? This is perfect. Everything's perfect.
I mean, we're looking at this picture here. The leaves look very different. The outer wrapping leaves, right?
Mira,
But
cállate.
Should I get the chocolate? Let me tell you.
Yes, get the chocolate already.
so, but like, why would like the leaves? Look how small yours are. Like,
No,
why-
but let me tell you what happened. When I got
Okay.
there, I was like the last one there, and when you jump into the water, all the other teams had grabbed all the lotuses that were in the front. So I had to go 40, 50 feet out in this murky quicksand vine wrapping thing. And it's like you're just drudging through mud and it's cooling you down. So the lotuses, the bulbs got smaller and smaller. So they would get upset because the bulb was not big enough. And I'm looking out there. I'm like, there aren't any. I would have to go 100 feet out. I'm like, I'm not going that way. So then it was hard because, and I told the little lady, I was begging her. I almost kissed her feet. I was like, look out there. There's no balls. And I was just like, crying. I'm trying to rationalize with her. And she's looking at me like, She really didn't care.
Was there a specific amount of leaves you could get and bulbs, or
Well, you had
just
to
grab as much as you could?
I personally grabbed as much as I could to make 2 bushels because you had to make 2 of them.
Okay.
So it was like 4 in the middle, 3 and 3 on the sides, and then the leaf. So honestly, in my mind, and you know, when I got back, I asked Iliana, how long was I gone? She was like about 2 hour plus. But to me, I felt like I was there 30 minutes.
Yes, that's how it feels.
But that's how focused I was. And then everybody's like freaking out, and everybody's like, no, and getting rejected, and like, no, no, no. And I'm like, check, check, check. So now you're like, okay, Liz, just focus, focus, focus. And then I thought, this is our chance to get out of this back spot because we have 2 teams behind. Actually, when I got there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, me 6.
Wow.
And I thought, this is it. Like, I got to just focus and try and get it done. So I ended up getting it done, leaving 2 teams behind.
Yeah. Great
And
job.
I was stoked. I was like, this is it. We're getting out of this rut. We're getting out of this rut.
Yeah. Because you got there last, right? Or no?
I got there
Got
last.
there last.
You left,
You got there
2 teams before. Iliana, what was your thought process? How were you feeling?
That was so funny of them. Like, they're like, oh, the people must be so worried waiting for us. And
they're
then
feeding
just
the
like
cats.
feeding
No,
them.
literally.
Yeah.
We were literally just like hanging out because we would see from. They had to like travel, like they left us to go on the boat, so we would see like a little speck of a boat, and that's when we would start paying attention. And the boat was so far away, and then every time we would see them, we would start screaming and like seeing how far we could hear them. So then once it was funny because we could hear them before that we could see them, and then I just heard something like piercing. I was like, I think that's my mom's laugh.
Yeah.
It was a really loud laugh, and I
love it.
People like. I think Ashley got tripped up a little bit, but other than that, people were kind of coming back in the way that they left. My mom was one of the first ones to kind of jump up. So I was expecting like to just get ready to go. Like as soon as she gets back, we're gonna be the last ones to leave, but she skipped 2 teams and we were like pumped.
That's great.
Did you guys by any chance kind of make an alliance with anybody? Like, hey, later on, you know, as you're sitting there talking, later on, let's help each other out or something. I don't know.
That's a great question because with this whole U-turn vote that Phil said, how was the dynamics between the teams?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I think it was kind of unspoken that like the first flight teams and the second flight teams were kind of just like, you know, we were kind of like joking like we're the B squad and like second flight team, like we kind of like had like an unspoken that we're gonna work with together, but honestly like we're just all so fake because like we all just love each other so much, and it's like we like want to talk shit so bad and we wanted there to be drama so bad, but there literally was just none because we were just like all helping each other. Like literally the first in LA we get to the Biltmore, going back for a second, and then Greg just crushed literally. I don't remember if Greg or Donna. He literally just crushed everyone.
Greg,
so, we got there as he finished, crossed, did the puzzle, whatever. And I'm like, where do I go? Because like he was the first person I saw. He's done, has the clue in his hand. And he's like, oh, you know, go get the clue and then just gonna like run inside and then you're gonna go. And John's like, Greg, like, come on, like you can't like tell everyone this stuff.
Good guy.
You should have asked him for the answer.
I wish he did. But Greg was like, yeah, you go up and there's a puzzle. And John was like, let's go.
Full conversation.
So you see those 2 doors right there. You're gonna go ahead and make a left. You're gonna pass the bathrooms on your right hand side and just keep on going straight. You're gonna see an Exxon Mobil gas station.
By the way, guys, we have Justin from Racers Recap on our chat.
What?
Hey, what's up?
What is up, Justin? Yes. What's up, Familia? Thanks for joining, man.
Hey, Justin.
And Justin, we'll be watching your podcast tonight, man. 7:00 YouTube, baby. All right, so you guys, all right, cool. So Elizabeth, anything else about this roadblock you want to talk about? Any other issues?
I really think everybody struggled. The judge was very hard. The judge was hard on all of us. Everybody had 10 plus checks. And I wish they would have shown more. I don't know why they didn't show what the actual going in and getting them was like.
Yeah.
But it was horrible. I was just excited to get ahead, and I thought that was going to do it for us.
Even now, talking to the teams who have obviously finish the whole race. They were like, that was the hardest roadblock.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was.
It seemed like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Justin, I'm not sure if you heard, but the clue mentioned nothing about those 4 check boxes of how to do the formation of the flowers. So that's really hard. Yeah, that's in the 3-4-3, like putting each flower in the right spot. Like that's insane.
Was she ever telling you what mistake you did? Like, would she point at what was wrong?
After the 8th check, for me personally, because I had 10, I think she not her, but the one translating for her was saying, no, the order or the bulb is blooming or something, you know, or like the order is off. And literally it was off by a centimeter. And I'm like, oh my God. So I was just towards the end, maybe a little bit, but not too much. They weren't very helpful.
Yeah, perfect. So, hey, you get out of there 2 teams ahead. That's huge for you guys. And then you have to make your way to Watra King. Once there, teams will place a coin in a marked elephant, walk on the elephant 3 times for good luck. This is something that we're missing from before, because now with these 90-minute episodes, you see more of these
the in-between things.
Yeah, the route infos. It's just a route info. The only time we had a route info, I think, was in Spain when we had to go to El Cubo. We had to just go there, get another clue, and ride bicycle to the next spot. So this is cool. You know, you still see more spots. Anything happened there? I mean, you're just walking around an elephant. Was a taxi rider? Question. Do you have the same taxi driver? Did he stick around?
We did. So we all had the same taxi driver for the whole day. And like, it just wasn't registering that we had the same taxi driver. Cause like, sometimes you know that like the show, like obviously you guys know, like sometimes like the show will get you taxis or like, you know, and the taxis were marked with Amazing Race flags. Like,
got it.
Okay.
This is obviously something like the show got us all cabs. They chauffeured us all day. I don't know if I should be saying all the shit, but they like had little Amazing Race stickers on the car. Like they were like,
I saw that.
They were doing they were taking us around all day. But for some reason, we like weren't registering that, and we got out.
I think it was for me the game paranoia, you know, because you've seen them take your bags, you've seen them just leave. I don't know. I was just
because everyone was leaving their bags in the car and we were not, which like us. I don't regret because like you never know, like regardless of if the show like if they drove off, like the show's not stopping them. Like I had my shit on me at all times. Like I did not care.
So question, we're talking about bags, 2 bags or 1? How did you guys pack?
We each had a bag, yeah.
2 bags.
I'll never do that. Never do that again if I get back.
Do you know how much each bag weighed?
I think
not
it was
a lot compared to everyone else's. Like,
well,
not a lot. I think Robin and Chelsea packed the lightest. They had the smallest bags. And then Sheridan and Alexandra, their bags were huge.
No, I think Jeremy and Liam's was.
Jeremy.
They bought like their army boots, their army.
Literally, like they were ready for battle. Like, and they were still sprinting by everyone. So it doesn't. And they run around
like it was nothing. I was like, oh my God.
Those boys
that was our Marcus
shake.
and Michael of the season.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure it was Liam or Jeremy. He just ran 20 miles one day, like 20 miles.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
That's
Liam,
crazy.
Jeremy, John, and Greg, they're all runners. And so is Corey.
Yeah, so for our season, I would pay attention. I was just like you guys. I would tell Lewis, it would say, put the key on top of the car. I was like, it has to be on the windshield. Make sure you bring your stuff. I would bring it. Every time I would take off my fanny pack, I would attach it to Lewis. Like I was paying attention to all those every little single instruction, because if it's written down, they could run away with that at any point and be like, you did not pay attention to
them. Really, really quick. I'll try to explain this really quickly, but just like an example like that. At the Biltmore, there was like this whole elevator debate because we go to the top and when you're done, it says take the same way down, take the same way out of the building that you came in. And then Derek and Claire told us to go down these stairs. So I feel like it was kind of like a last minute like reroute from production to like, just go down these stairs. It'll be easier for filming, whatever. So I went down, half the team went down one set of stairs into the building, took the elevator the same way we came out. Some people went all the way down the stairs and went like behind the building. And we were all freaking out about this because this was while we were going to Thailand. So we wouldn't know about any penalties or anything until we get to the pit stop in Thailand. So we were all talking about the freaking elevator debate for like hours. And like so
And I was
paranoid.
praying that they had penalties, boy. I was
Praying. But like you
like,
said,
oh my God,
that's
that was
just
great.
like, but like Michelle said, like that's just the show paranoia. Like you read it
Yeah.
8 times and you're like, am I reading this correctly? Like,
Yeah.
does this say what I think it says?
Exactly. So Justin put in the thing, if the clue says that you're taking a marked vehicle and it's safe to leave your bags in the
bags,
marked vehicles.
Okay,
We didn't read that though.
We did
We
not
didn't
know
even read
that.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like we knew it though, but we were
Yeah.
just in that mind frame
Just in
that
case.
let's
Yeah.
take it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you want to take your passports and everything. Well, you always take
Yeah.
a fanny pack, but yeah, it's your stuff. I mean, and you only have one bag the whole race, so I get it.
Right.
Too, I get it. So right before you guys leave to the elephant, Joel and Garrett talking about bags leave their fanny pack.
Yeah.
That
And
is a
it's crazy.
cardinal
I thought-
sin on the Amazing Race.
I
You
thought we were
cannot-
so like them leaving their fanny pack, like that happened. Like we saw them come back and grab it maybe like 10 minutes before my mom came back.
Wow.
And then Jeremy came back right before. It was Jeremy and then my mom came back right. Like we were with like 5 teams, like
you
at
guys
least.
made up like an hour and 10 minutes, easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you made up a lot of time.
For sure.
That's a lot of time. All right.
And
So
then
yeah, go ahead.
we went to the elephant and we saw other teams. So before that, on the cab ride there, I felt like the cab kept turning. It was very strange, like turning around and turning around. And I was like, are you sure you know where you're going? Are you sure? Like, you okay? You know? And they're like, yeah. Everything's yeah. So I'm like, okay. So then we get there. And I know we went to like the wrong elephants initially, and then we saw other teams, and that's when I knew, like, yeah, he definitely took the wrong turn. I was so upset.
So you had the teams behind you, Robin and Chelsea, Elizabeth, Iliana, in the same spot. I'm sorry, Robin and Chelsea.
Melania and Andrea caught up to us, and then like minutes later, we saw Chelsea and Robin.
All right.
And that's when I knew that I was right. I was like, I know he took the wrong turn or something.
Okay. It's part of the race.
I know.
But so you guys wanted to do, so there's a roadblock here. Choice A, you stock up. Teams had to travel to Don White Market where they had to receive a shopping list, choose a cart with empty baskets, blah, blah, blah. And then choice B, scoop up. Team had to travel to Tom Sum Old Farm where they must choose a boat and load it full of pomelos, right? You guys originally want to do choice B, scoop up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Once
but
again,
again,
it's driver, right?
Like what's going through
The
here?
thought was, okay, we have to hurry up and get out of here. We have to go to scoop up. Let's just not even think. Let's just do. And it was more of a, hands-on. Let's just do it. And we had picked scoop up. And I personally wanted that because I wanted to be around other teams and kind of gauge the position and just kind of talk to them and see what was happening. You know what I mean? Like just be around them to see. I thought it would motivate us and just to do better and push harder. And I just knew everybody was going to scoop up. I honestly didn't think that a person was going to go to market. But then when we pulled up to market, Iliana was like, maybe Pomelos is in the back of the market. Maybe this is it, because we told them we wanted to go do Pomelos. And when we ran all the way to the back, there was a canal there and there were no boats. And I was like, well, Iliana, we're stuck with the market. Like, we don't have a choice. Like, we have zero time to get back in the cab and get lost. Like, we might as well just do it.
yeah.
Did you guys ever think or look up directions to see which one was closer?
Girl, when you're in the back, you don't have time to do anything. You can't breathe because you're just trying to get ahead. And it was just like, you're entrusting this cab driver. You're at the mercy. And the thing is that she showed him the direction, the paper. I want to go here. And he's like, yeah. It's like he didn't even look at the paper.
Well, the thing is, it was like the same thing with like the production getting us the taxis. Like they were just like talking to each other, and then he was probably like, oh, 2 girls with a crew are going to the market. He was probably like, oh, we're probably going with them, and just followed them to the market. Like they were talking, like when I saw them talking to each other, he was probably like, where are we going next? Like did not care about where I wanted to go. Like he literally just followed their car there.
It was, my heart just dropped. I was like, damn it.
Well, now seeing both tasks, do you guys think you would have done better picking up the pomelos, or did you enjoy doing the market?
I think we would have done better at the Pomelos, but again, Robin and Chelsea literally killed that challenge. Like,
yes,
all 5 buckets they filled in one. Did you see their boat?
yes, I saw their boat. I thought it was
one
gonna go
trip.
down.
That
yeah.
was
Did it in
impressive.
one trip. So like, who even knows? I think I would have preferred that, but they did so good. Like, who even knows if we would?
See, I thrive on that though. Like, put a team right next to me, and I think it would have been more like, let's go. It would have been
fire.
more energy. Yeah, exactly.
Because
like,
I was just like sitting at a roadblock for 2.5 hours. Like, I had so much energy. Like, I just wanted to do something that was like mindless and busy and just like physical. Like, I didn't want to go to a market and like translate shit and freaking run around like a chicken with my head cut off with a basket.
I didn't want to go to market after being soaking wet and nasty and mud from the Lourdes, but we did it anyway.
Did you guys have trouble reading broccoli?
Broccoli.
We argued about the same thing. My mom was like, I think this is broccoli. And I'm like,
just like
I
that.
don't
This
know.
has to be broccoli.
So we've got Turquoise Store here asking a question. He says, "How dare a team know the language of the country they traveled to?" That was a big discussion in a fan group. What do you guys think about that?
No, I think it's amazing. That's a part of the show. That's why you get people from so many different backgrounds. Like, they came in for. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
they came in. Everyone saw the second episode. They came in first place, and like, I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, and
you
he's
can't
from
be.
He's from Laos. He's not even from Thailand. So like, yes, he had an advantage on all of us, but that's not his language. Like, he still had to kind of figure it out.
And tell me, when you guys were reading, it was phonetic. It was that much more confusing, right? Like, you couldn't just show the paper to the people at the market.
They wouldn't have understood it because it was
I tried.
Our alphabet. Because that's why they wanted us to say the words, and we were, and they kind of got it, but it was hard. I'll never forget it. The freaking peanut butter we got instead of the durian fruit.
Oh my God, what a difference. So there goes to show you that they didn't understand it either.
Right.
But as far as the language barrier, that's what makes Amazing Race beautiful, right? Because you don't know where you're gonna go, so you can't be mad at that. I read a lot about that on the fan pages, and I was like, you really cannot be mad at it. It's the same way like when you guys went to Spain, you guys had a
exactly. I was about to bring that up. I was gonna bring that up, but the pressure was on us to perform that day.
Exactly.
Like, I was under pressure. I was like, dude, imagine I go to Spain where I speak the language and I get even eliminated, maybe,
Exactly.
But we did great. We knew the language, and that's just part of it. Yeah, that's just part of it.
No, it's part of the Amazing Race.
Yeah, no, that they killed that one. They deserved that.
Oh my God, this picture right here, I don't want to ever see this picture in my life.
Well, talk to me about the market though.
Blown up.
Yeah, talk to me about the market though. It looked like it was packed. There was a lot of stuff going on, and
the market it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of difficulty. It was
because she wasn't doing it. She was pushing the trolley thing. That's why she says that.
Throwing you under the bus.
I was just carrying the basket.
She was yelling at me the whole time.
Oh my God.
That part, I wish they would have showed more, because that's when the mom and dad came. Like, Iliana, leave me alone. Like, let me focus. Let me do it. And she's like, but do this way, but do that way. I'm like, am I doing this or you're doing this? It was just so much of that. And they didn't show any of that, which I was surprised. And I'm like, Iliana, I need you to stop. It was so hilarious.
You guys still hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think it's probably the battery, maybe. We're gonna change the battery real fast, but if you still hear it. So it was the durian. You guys got peanut butter instead. Was that what I heard?
Yes,
yeah, I don't even.
That durian was peanut butter. They gave me peanut butter, and when we went to get checked, my heart dropped when he said no, because we had Melania and Andrea behind us to get checked, and I'm kind of like trying to go slow up the ramp to see if they passed or not. And when I saw they checked, I knew at that moment that it's us and Chelsea and Robin, and then we didn't know how they were doing, so it was like, oh my God, I felt my heart drop at that very moment.
But what was your feeling, I guess, when they said no, right? And you didn't know what was not right? Like, I remember on the show you were like, oh, but I didn't track which one was which.
Well, no, Iliana said, Mom, you wasn't tracking it. I guess she had a point. Like, I should have wrote a little note what it is to what it meant, what it was to us. You know what I mean? Like how we understood it. and then we had to go back and now ask there was a little viejita, so cute, helping us, and she should be on the Amazing Race. This lady was amazing, and then she was like checking them off for me. Eliana's yelling at me right here the whole time, "Mommy, you should." And there's so much they didn't show, and I'm like, that was like,
I was so pissed because we got everything. We got one thing wrong. We go out there, we try to figure out what we got wrong. I look down at the list with all her freaking chicken scratch, and I'm like, I'm like, she didn't write what it was in English underneath, because that's what I would have done. And I look down and there's no English words on the paper.
Listen, girl.
I'm like,
I was trying to get through this.
That picture is literally me looking at the paper about to cuss her out. I'm like, you didn't write down what it was? How
And she yelled it so loud. I was like, oh my God.
So how did you guys figure it out?
She remembered a lot of them. So I will give her that credit. She remembered a lot of them. But I almost had a meltdown. I was like, you didn't write down what it was?
I don't know, but in my mind, I knew exactly what they were. I just didn't write it down.
She did. She did remember most, because in my head, her not writing them down, I'm like, we have to figure out what every single one is and then start again from square one. But she figured it out very quickly.
When we started the shopping, it was her with the list and me with the cart. And then I was like, give me that. You never go grocery shopping.
No, literally after 1 minute, I was like, oh, this is a you task. Like,
I was like, here. She was like, Mom, here. I'm like, I don't know what you were doing for. You never go grocery shopping. You don't know what you're doing.
I'm just pushing the cart.
So Elizabeth, what happened to you putting your mom cart away?
What happened when?
The mom personality. You were like, you were taking a list.
Well, that's what I told you. Until the market, Mama came out hard. Boy, I wanted to like, cállate la boca, muchacha de Dios, cállate.
Oh, and you know what's so funny? This is another funny thing that they didn't show. I'm very crazy about my stuff. Like
she's OCD.
I'm OCD. I have like very bad attachment issues. And so we're doing the market, right? And I had my nice G2 Pilot pen.
I love those.
That she was using. And then she loses the pen. So we're in the market racing for last, and I'm yelling at her about
Iliana, you're thinking about a stupid pen?
I've got one right here. I feel you, Iliana. You're my type of person.
Even our camera guy was like, Iliana, like, come on, like, help your mom. And I'm like, no, like, did you see where she put my pen? Like, where is my fucking pen? She lost it.
We are about to get eliminated. And she's wearing, mira, at that moment, I was like, ay, yo lo voy a matar. Es que yo lo voy a matar. I was like, cállate. Okay, stop it. Oh,
we're dripping sweat, and I'm like asking my camera guy, I'm like, did you see where she put the pen?
She got stuck. She got stuck in that little loop for a few minutes, and I was like,
you get on the mat, Phil tells you the last thing to arrive. Oh, Phil, have you seen my pen?
I know. Honestly, that's what you should have said, Iliana.
I was like, guys, like, can you please check the cameras? Like, where? and then I run back. Well, my mom's
for the pen
to look for the pen.
No.
And then this lady hands it to me. I grab it, and I'm so excited that literally everyone starts cheering for me because I found my pen.
Oh my God.
There's just so many things that they don't show that would have been so freaking comical.
What's up, Quentin?
Yo, Q, what's up, Q?
In the chat. Wow, what
It must be
nice
early for
picture.
Quentin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's in LA.
Oh, that's
maybe
hilarious.
he's
I
in,
love
like Australia or something. I don't know.
That's
I
the
love
only
that.
moment that
Wait, really?
I felt my mama thing come out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose it on this child. She don't stop the nonsense.
Really quick, there was one other. I'll give you the shortened version. There was one other. It was the pen thing and the tuck thing that were two really
Oh
funny
my
things.
God, the tuk-tuk.
So when we were in Thailand, we were trying to. The thing said, "Get in a tuk, go here, whatever." So we get in a tuk. Long story short, we're arguing in the tuk for 5 minutes if we're in a tuk or not.
No, correction. No. Iliana's arguing if we're in a tuk or not. She is making me second guess my whole existence right now.
But
Because
why? It's a tuk-tuk. Like,
listen, we pull up in her defense when she was hooked on the, in India the tuk-tuks are smaller and they're like crampier and you got that little.
Yeah.
So I think she was thinking that at the time. So this tuk-tuk was longer, stretchier, had like almost a front and a back or something. It was just bigger. And
was
then
the tuk-tuk moving as you guys were arguing, or
Yes!
did you stay there? Okay, good.
She's like, Mommy, this is not a tuk. No, not even. She was like, Mom, it's not a tuk-tuk. And I'm like, Nana, it's a tuk-tuk. No, it's not a. She goes, look, Mom, it says taxi on the top, and I lost it. I was like,
because it said taxi, and I was like, okay, but it says taxi.
What is it gonna say?
Really
Tuk-tuk taxi? What do you want it to say? The camera guys, let me tell you, we had the camera guys just on the floor. I know they have this footage. I want this footage so bad.
That is great. That is
We need
great.
some behind the scenes.
Yeah,
For
unfortunately,
sure.
we got to start wrapping this up because I know you guys have another interview after us. So, all right, you finish, you get the clue. What are you feeling? I know, Andrea or Andrea? Am I saying her name wrong?
Andrea
and Melania.
Andrea and Melania. They're gone. How do you feel right now?
Like shit. I knew we were out at that point.
We were
Oh,
dejected.
wow.
And something
I
that they
felt
didn't
it.
show too is that when we went to go to the pit stop, the taxi went from we were about to turn in and it said 1 minute. I'm like looking at his GPS, it says 1 minute and I see it. I was like, perfect. He passes it and the GPS goes from 1 minute to 12 minutes.
Oh my god.
And we're racing to last. And
Why don't you get out of the taxi?
It was like a
wouldn't let us.
congested kind of highway thing, and they
There-
claimed it
in freaking
unsafe.
Thailand, there's 8-lane highways. And we said, we like pull over to the side, we'll run in. And they were like, no, we can't do that. So we had to loop it because there's no U-turns. We had to loop it all the way around. And then
Would that have been enough for you guys to still be in the race?
we still don't know. And
Oh,
nobody
no.
would tell us. I was like, all I want to know is if
mat
we were
times.
more than 12 minutes from the previous person's mat time, it was the taxi. So all I want to know is how many minutes it was.
The mat
But no,
time.
they wouldn't tell us, and they were like, it was close. And I was like, but how close? Because then at least I could sleep at night knowing it was the taxi's fault.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I think it's better off not knowing though, because
You
I'll be
think so?
pissed.
I know.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd rather not know.
I think so
That
too.
would
It would
be-
keep me up thinking like it wasn't my fault. Like this damn taxi was the reason I lost the race. You know.
Well,
what I
it
mean? I don't know.
bothers us now. Like we run everything. You know how it is. We run every scenario, and we're like, "Dag, was it really like? Was it the taxi? Was it us? Did they take a wrong turn?" I was like, "Oh, it's so bad."
But let's be real. You guys made up some time. The whole leg, you did probably do it faster than some teams, but you started so far behind that didn't really matter. So, I mean, it's tough. You know, it's mostly the day one errors. I would love to talk about that, but you know, we can't get into that because we're out of time. You land on the mat. Phil looks at you with a face of disgust. He does I
hate that.
You know,
so much.
There is no non-elimination.
Hoping, though, he's telling you you're not the last team.
You're the last team to arrive. However, or something, you know, his phrases, but no. All right. Anything else you guys want to say? How did you feel? What was going on in your heads after he told you that you got last place?
We were sad, but you know what? You guys, after that, they were like, we got to talk to Phil, which was really cool, and he was like, y'all are like the happiest team we've ever eliminated. Like we were just so spent and like we were just happy to be there together. Like we went to the airport when we went home. We got drunk at the airport. Like we were just like so happy. And you know what? At the end, like one of the producers came up to us and they were like, because they were like joking. We were joking on the first leg. I was like, y'all literally like watch us all day like Sims. Like, do y'all see us on a map like where everyone is? And they were like, pretty much, yeah. And they were like, out of all the teams, we literally have the most footage of you guys laughing like than any other team. So, you know, it really was fun. And I'm just really happy that we got to do it together.
And all right, great. And yeah, Elizabeth, what are your final thoughts of your whole amazing race experience?
Like your title says, she's a mini me for sure. And I got to witness that in action. It was just so amazing. I feel confident that she's going to be able to do anything in life. And, you know, honestly, 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, you can never duplicate what we experienced, what we went through, the bonds we created with the teams, the amazing race family. It's just something that you can't ever get anywhere else. It's just so amazing. And for the fan base, a lot of fans were like, you know, why were you guys surprised that you were eliminated? Like you were last.
I know everyone was
Because-
like, I was like, no, we were very, very.
Well, let me
close.
clear this up. You're racing at every second. You're racing. Even though you think you're down, you're racing. So in my mind, we're racing against Andrea and Chelsea. So we were not going to just gingerly walk in there or go slow or whatever. There was never a moment we gave up. So yeah, we ran in a little surprised because we're competing against the other last team. So it's not that, oh, we knew we were eliminated. You never know. You don't know what's going on the other side.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
know.
I've got a quick question. R. Nunez asked, so eliminated teams went home right away. So was it like you guys talked to Phil and then from there went straight to the airport?
No, they let us stay in a hotel overnight because it was like closer to nighttime
It
anyway.
was late, yeah. No,
And
they
then-
feed us. They let us sleep. They they get us whatever we want. They sent us some alcohol. Like we were fine. Let me not say that. They let us buy alcohol.
Yeah, don't say that.
So yeah, you get eliminated and then you kind of just it was late, so we slept. We got the next flight in the morning. We were fed and well rested and stuff. But
After you guys slept at the hotel, was the taxi driver that took you to the airport? Was it the same taxi driver during
I
the
was
race?
not gonna
get in the car with him. No.
We
You
were
get
not
in the
gonna get
taxi?
in the cab. We were not gonna get
you
in
get
the
in
I
a
don't want
taxi,
to ever
he
see
turns
that
around.
car.
Hello. You're like, no.
PTSD.
I want to walk to the airport. But in the end, I just want, I hope the Spanish community is proud. I think that it's amazing. I want people to just get more involved, especially the Latin community. Just try everything, do everything, because we can do it too. And you guys proved it as well. So I love it. And I'm going to continue doing my thing.
I love it. I love your dynamic.
Amen, sister. Thank you so much for being on with us. Everybody on the live, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Next week, we'll recap it again. Make sure to watch Rachel's recap tonight at 7. I love everybody. See ya.
Thanks. Love you guys.
We're still live. So
We are. We're still live.
big. And, oh.
Da, da, da.